I had a great question. So I thought that I would create a video to be able to show that person what I mean instead of trying to type a bunch of words to describe it. So here's the scenario. I have a client in the Pinterest challenge that is asking how you merge boards, because in one of the educations I was talking about merging boards that have not been used. So like if you have a board that has not been pinned to it in over a year, I have some clients, sometimes it's 7 years they haven't been pinned to. We don't necessarily want to lose those pins, but we don't want that board because obviously we haven't pinned to that board in a while. So you'll consider what that board is, find another board that you think would be appropriate for all those pins, and then you're going to merge them. So today I'm going to show you how to do that. So I created a test board, and the pin that's on this board, I'm going to merge with this one. So go ahead and click on the board, the 3 dots at the top of the board, and then you say merge, and it's asking which board do you want to merge with. So you're going to say best Pinterest tips. That's the one I chose. And then I'm going to say done. And when we look at this, that test board is gone. So now what it did was it added a section on this board. And if I didn't want that, I can take these pins and I can go ahead and click
Analytics
in
matter,
it.
like really matter. Think of Pinterest analytics as your crystal ball. They show you who's vibing with your brand, discover the demographics, interests, and even the devices.
Talking while I was doing that. So if I was over here, let me get back to my boards. And I'm in Pinterest tips. It still has this section, but I did move the pin, so now I can go in and I can delete that section. That's how it works. My advice would be to go ahead and when you merge, and I'm going to show you another way of merging because I want you to know that there's a different way to do it as well. There's always a couple ways to do everything. So I'm going to create a new Gen board, so I can show you the quick way that I do the same thing. It automatically creates sections. If you don't want that, you can move the pin if you want over time. I just didn't really care to do that, but same thing. So we have a Gen board, we can take it and we can move it right on top of it, and it will say, you're about to move the Gen board to a new section in your best Pinterest tips board. When you delete the Gen board, you'll lose all of the followers on that board. Again, I wouldn't worry too much about that. If you haven't pinned it over a year or so, no one cares, right? So you're going to move pins, and now the boards are combined, and I have that new section. Now, I don't care for sections. It's totally okay if you want to. I don't see anything adverse with sections these days because they're all kind of on here, but I personally don't like that. I like to have just whatever boards I want and to not have sections. So you can merge by going in, clicking on the 3 dots and saying merge, or you can go in and you can just transfer over on top of it, which I'm not going to do right now because I don't want those boards merged. So as you can see, I have best Pinterest tips, Pinterest marketing education, and I have free marketing advice. These are my main, and Pinterest management, like they're all kind of the same. And Pinterest tips over here on the bottom right, they are all the core of what I educate about in my business. And they have different names so that I can get the benefit of the keywords of having different board names. But if I had a board that I have not pinned to, you see I've pinned to these 6 days, 1 day, 2 weeks, 1 day, 6 days, 7 months. Amazon favorites. I don't do a lot of Amazon favorites on here. Maybe I can make that a section on another board because 7 months is a long time. I don't like really any boards having no pins in 6 months. But what I will usually do is look at all these boards, see which one is not getting love each month when I do my analytics, and I will pin from another board to that board real quick just to get a pin going, just so those disappear. So I can show you that. If I have one, okay, this one's a year, office plants. I'm going to keep it just because people who are looking for office plants can stumble upon my content, but clearly I haven't pinned to there in a while. So what I would do is I would come up here, I would click on this and say office plants, and I would find one that's super cute. This is really cool, 10 indoor plants. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one. I'm going to add it to my office plants. It'll automatically, typically, default to that board, and then you're going to hit save. And then when I go back to my boards, the office plants one, which I can't find right now, office plants. Oh, I have to refresh. Always know you have to refresh in order to see the current analytics. So if I go back down to office plants, it's just now that I pinned. So you have two ways of working with a board that you haven't pinned to in a long time. Pin to it, right? If you haven't pinned to it in a long time and you're probably not going to, then maybe you do want to merge this office plants in with something else, another board that you might have. I'm choosing not to do it right now, but again, that's the fun and the beauty of Pinterest is you can go ahead and experiment and play, and it's not going to totally affect your Pinterest account as long as you're pinning on a consistent basis. Any other questions? Put them down below in the comments of this video, and I will be happy to answer them, and I might answer them with a video for you too. Bye.